Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Happy versus Starbuck here on Autumn Leaves 2.0. Alright, Happy spawning as the blue undead on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Starbuck spawning as the, yellow human on the top right. Starbuck, looking like he's going for that Paladin rifle build. Obvious, as we don't see anything being built in the first 30 seconds, a delayed Altar of Storms, and then a blacksmith first. Also, we saw that there were two peasants on wood, and the timing on this particular build order just is very, very specific in order to get that blacksmith down, be able to first train that rifleman, and then perhaps try to place down a farm there. All right, coming back around, Happy opening things up. There's a crypt, there's an altar of darkness, there's a tomb of relics, and there is that ziggurat. I am wondering, I've always wanted to see Happy go up against this Paladin rifle build while just trying to play classic, but I'm not classic Death Knight. Not going to see that here. Instead, we're going to see the Crypt Lord and this go wide strategy. Now, the go wide strategy. The go wide strategy means that you have a large army, but that army generally has fairly low hit points individually. If that is going to be the case there, the rifleman may be able to use a focus fire extremely effectively to pick apart units. Starbuck also is going to be using those riflemen and just kind of dancing those riflemen, just pulling back with the one rifleman who is taking damage and allowing the other rifleman to shoot and do that target practice. That's one of the benefits of this rifleman strategy, but also the rifleman strategy, you need to get to tier 2 quickly, as the riflemen themselves only have 400 range straight out of the gate, so kind of a little bit weak right there. All right, we're looking at ghouls already making their way out. Rod of Necromancy. Are we going to see skeletal minions first? Yeah, skeletal minions first. And now the Crypt Lord going to place down the sacrificial skull, get a little bit of blight regeneration. Oh, unlucky bash by the Kobold Taskmaster first, delaying that Crypt Lord and placing down that blight. All right, Kobold Geomancer going to get cleaned up here. Some beetles should be summoned up as well. You want those beetles and you want those skeletal minions to try and clear out these creep camps quickly and effectively. All right, another bash there by that Kobold Taskmaster, getting in some bonus damage and slowing things up. Meanwhile, Paladin rifle already moving out across the battlefield. Paladin picking up an early Ring of Protection +4. Always nice when that Paladin himself is able to absorb a little bit more damage. Militia now being called over, and here we are, off to the races, trying to keep the damage onto the militia. Instead, a beetle is going to make its way out. Forest Troll Trapper going to take a little bit of damage. Who's going to get that last hit? That is the question, as the Paladin, really wants to get to level 2 for that Devotion Aura. All right, some easy damage right there. Beetle being forced to scurry away. There's level 2 Devotion Aura, most likely gonna get picked up here. And with that, did he go Devotion Aura? Yes, there's that Devotion Aura that we were expecting. One more shot onto the Beetle. No, Beetle able to retreat back. Now, this level 2 Paladin already has a nearly 12 armor, so that's really heavy damage reduction early on as well. Meanwhile, the Crypt Lord of Happy is already at level 3. So are we looking at level 2 beetles? We are. So these beetles, 15 to 18 damage, actually hit harder than the ghouls. Meanwhile, we're going to be looking at some Holy Light right there. Paladin going to try to continue to finish off these units. Both of these, both of these units having medium armor, making it difficult to focus them down with the riflemen here. All right, however, Beetles looking to swarm inside the base. That is going to be a lot of damage. The Crypt Lord going to try and sneak in, having a little bit of difficulty as we see a call to arms. All right, big call to arms here. Riflemen out here onto the battlefield. You're going to see an Impale picking up all of those militia. And now this one rifleman trying to hold the door here. I'm going to see a Holy Light. We should be looking at a Holy Light. Oh, wow, deny instead of a Holy Light there, as the Crypt Lord could get into trouble. All right, the Crypt Lord actually going to staff up teleportation out of a tough spot. And now there's another there. Paladin, however, just going to walk this Crypt Lord and say, what's up, Holy Light? And that was absolutely greedy by Happy. Happy could have staff of teleportation back home. Instead, staff of teleportation within range of the Paladin, knowing that the Paladin and the Rifleman were still going to be able to attack. The Paladin just escorted that Crypt Lord back to the tavern, as the Paladin now, is he going to spot this Crypt Lord here? No, he is not. All right, so we saw some cleanup. No Blood Mage getting trained. This is a lot of dead corpses all across the battlefield. But Happy did set up an expo here at the 5 o'clock spot. This may come as a surprise to Starbuck. If Starbuck does not scout this out, he's gonna really be in pain. All right, need to zoom out of the battlefield a little bit more. Actually, come on, nope, too far back now. All right, now Starbuck must know that something is up. He sees that the Necropolis is still in play. No tech to tier 2. Acolytes now trying to make their way over. We're looking at dual Ziggurats trying to upgrade into those Nerubian towers. Meanwhile, the militia, well, beetles are just going to get summoned up here. All right, militia trying to fight back. This is not a good spot. The ghouls are going to be able to take them down. And this is, if this turns into a base race scenario, Starbuck is actually going to be in a tough spot. These two Nerubian towers are going to be able to slow down the attack on these guys as well. Acolytes may be able to come over, get in some repairs while we're still mining at this base by Happy. All right, coming back across the other way, Blood Mage now out here on the battlefield. Blood Mage has not trained up any abilities as of yet. We're going to be looking at, well, that's going to be one dead ghoul here. What is that ghoul really doing at all? Not quite sure. There it is, backing up again. All right, Starbuck trying to get in some lasting damage onto all of those units. The Paladin doesn't have that much mana to be sticking around in this battle. Too much damage across all of these other units, as there's a Holy Light trying to do a little bit of a save again. All right, Ghouls looking to back away. Meanwhile, Crypt Lord making its way back across here. Blood Mage staying inside of the base. We're getting up a new lumber mill, as the Crypt Lord trying to summon up some more here. Sees that the Blood Mage is still there, and the Crypt Lord says, you know what, I can teleport back home and provide some cover here. All right, a little bit of damage. More beetles going to get summoned up here. Ghouls seem to be okay. Nerubian towers. And what? Tier 1 undead after all this time, after fast expanding. As we're looking at more Ziggurats being placed down to try and protect this haunted gold mine. Plenty of acolytes here, as we're still looking at a little bit of a dance going back and forth. Happy sitting at 250 gold, hasn't found an effective way to spend his gold yet. Could be training up more ghouls, as the Blood Mage is now out here on the battlefield, gonna give that Paladin plenty of mana, and suddenly this Rifleman army is going to be constantly healed up time and time again. We're going to be looking at a little bit of damage here, some more damage coming back across. We need to see perhaps a Spirit Tower, but there's not even a graveyard yet out here on the battlefield. There's a Holy Light finishing off an Acolyte. Blood Mage can continue to give more mana to the Paladin. We should be looking at the Blood Mage trying to drain. And now there's that siphon mana back into that Paladin again. The unkillable army once more living up to its name, as we see, well, the Rifleman just trying to finish off all of these Ziggurats here. We're looking at 36 over 70 supply. Starbuck is pretty much all in on this base here, not realizing that his opponent has another expansion perhaps. All right, Blood Mage and Paladin fighting, surrounded. Are they going to be able to break free? I believe so. 33 supply compared to 36. And, well, units able to teleport back home. Very low hit point Rifleman there, down to 15 hit points. Units once more on the move. Yeah, I know the camera's off. I'm horribly backlit at this time of day.
A player's forces are under attack.
Siphon mana from that Forest Troll High Priest. Finding a way to get mana back into that Paladin is going to be key here. That's all that's needed. Gonna go ahead and there's that siphon mana in once more. There's some mana for or hit points for that rifleman. 37 supply compared to 44. Happy seems to be okay as he's still at mass tier 1. All right, mass tier 1 undead. Just going wide. Beetles, ghouls, skeletal minions. There's that graveyard. And Starbuck must know that his opponent is that Happy has an expansion. He's got to know this, but he doesn't. It doesn't really look like he's trying to deal with that just quite yet. Ghoul is trying to make their way back out. We're gonna see another Ghoul get taken down. There's level 2 now on the Blood Mage. Blood Mage most likely gonna go. Oh, well, actually going for Flame Strike as that second ability. All right, I thought he was gonna perhaps try to go for Banish, but no, instead gonna go for Flame Strike. As the Crypt Lord is just experience happy right now, saying, you know what, let me creep out some more locations. I still have a Rod of Necromancy. I can still summon up more beetles and clear out this location, perhaps getting level 2 Impale. Ghoul is going to try and do another run by once more into the base here. We see some guard towers getting constructed as well. Do we see the masonry upgrade? No, we do not. And the ghouls are just, well, clawing away at the barracks again. All right, mass ghouls and mass melee going up against this rifleman army as the Paladin sits at level 4, nearly at level 5. All right, Goblin Zeppelin jumps, Goblin Zeppelin lifts up all of those ghouls. We're going to perhaps see an elevator drop into the base here. That could be a very big deal as the riflemen are, well, shooting some of these ghouls once more. Armies are going to engage 44 supply compared to 49. But remember, all of these summoned units do not count towards the supply count, as Happy is sitting at 49 over 90, still sitting at no upkeep, and perhaps going to start banking a large amount of gold. Finally, that tech to tier 2, a second graveyard? Okay, I don't know if maybe perhaps Happy is like, I need to find a way to spend my gold. Let me go for double graveyard to be able to upgrade both melee, armor and weapon upgrades all at the same time, as he just is investing very, very heavily into this ghoul strategy. We should be looking at Ghoul Frenzy as well, if that is the strategy, as we are going into a second crypt. All right. Starbuck forcing the Scroll of Town portal back home, or force the Scroll of Town portal back home, as we see level 5 now on that Paladin. Level 5 Paladin, is he going to opt for level 3 Holy Light over level 3 Devotion or a Flame Strike in order to burn the forest and get out of the back of his base here? Starbuck also having quad towers inside his base so that no more ghoul run-bys are possible. All right. Crypt Lord sitting at level 4. Goblin Zeppelin picking up units, trying to perhaps drop them down onto the riflemen, close in on that 0 range. You can see the Goblin Zeppelin purposely, taking the long way route, as the Crypt Lord perhaps going to try and, swarm Starbuck again. This is a strange game. I'm trying to predict what's going to happen here. Blood Mage picks up Vampiric Aura, not the most useful item at all. Blood Mage now at level 2 Siphon Mana. Right, no, level 2 Flame Strike, and now maxed out on mana. Perhaps he can actually deal enough damage to all of these ghouls. Ghouls are just going to drop inside the base. There's a Staff of Teleportation inbound, and now there's a Staff of Teleportation inbound again. There's a quick Impale, some big damage, trying to get a Holy Light in, unable to do so. And now, the militia are being called back over. Goblin Zeppelin doesn't have that much here. We're going to try and just swarm across all of this. Crypt Lord continuing to fight as we see another expo trying to be established by Happy. Meanwhile, the rifleman going to walk into the base here. Blood Mage perhaps going to make its way back down. And all of these guard towers perhaps are just going to get cleaned up here. Crypt Lord having, some decent armor or decent regeneration off of that Ring of Regeneration, able to fight here. And level 5 now on that Paladin. This Crypt Lord is just sitting inside this base, taking Holy Light, and now going to use the Scroll of Town portal, taking down the barracks. So Starbuck now currently has no production buildings. Halls of the Dead currently getting repaired here. Riflemen shooting at this Crypt Lord. What is this Crypt Lord going to hope to do? The Spirit Tower not offering any protection for this Crypt Lord since it is so far back. Blood Mage going to go ahead and Staff of Teleportation out. Meanwhile, what is this Crypt Lord going to do? we're sitting at 38 over 100 supply, and Happy is just playing a very, very strong economic game. All right, we see triple crypt. We are looking at 1-1 upgrades. The graveyards are no longer upgrading anything upgrading anything right now. And if I wasn't sure, it would feel like Happy is just kind of toying with his opponent right now. He's just trying to figure out new skills, new strategies, invent new ways to approach this Paladin rifle strategy. And he's just trying to take the map and get the economic advantage. However, so far, this mass school strategy is just turning into experience for that Paladin and Blood Mage, as the Blood Mage sits at level 3 and the Paladin currently sits at level 5. Riflemen have 1-0 upgrades only, and we can see that the mortar teams are now getting trained up here. Still no blacksmith, as Starbuck, even though he does have a very strong army, doesn't really have that much infrastructure. Level 5 now for that Crypt Lord. We are at Black Citadel, so that's the reason why that Crypt Lord got so much experience. 30% experience bonus when it is a solo hero. All right, very unorthodox overall. We're looking at the ghouls just collecting lumber off over here. Happy is currently sitting in low upkeep, finally training up even more ghouls. So we are triple training ghouls here. Very fast speed. And well, we're now finished that 2-2 upgrade. Are we going to go into 3-3 upgrades here, as this one crypt about to get taken out? Mortar teams, well, should be joining in the fight here. There's a flying machine as well. And what is going across? All right, Crypt Lord going to go ahead and engage. There was an impale. A couple of bits of damage. There's a flame strike. Ghouls walking through the fire and flames right there, as we see another impale come across there. Crypt Lord still has a potion of mana, so it could go for a little bit more. We see a Scroll of Healing as all these units are trying to come back across. And another flame strike, placing down a couple of these units, as the ghouls are just still trying to swarm. 41 supply compared to 55. Crypt Lord has another potion of mana. There's going to be a flame strike right there, but all of the ghouls actually able to dodge the majority of that damage, as the Blood Mage could be in a little bit of trouble. Blood Mage now trying to get away, actually walks into a little bit of the wrong direction, and we're going to be looking at ghouls now getting focused down. There goes another quick impale. Another mortar team about to get taken out, as well, damage is still getting racked up again and again. All right, we're going to see another low hit point. No, level 6 now on the Crypt Lord. Level 6 Crypt Lord. Blood Mage falls at level 3 back to the southern side from those ghouls, as the Paladin now trying to retreat back. The Crypt Lord, well, gaining so much experience and now having the ultimate ability as well. We're going to be looking at, there goes another impale. There goes another rifleman, and that is it. Happy just pretty much only training mass tier 1, gets to tier 3, gets heavy armor and weapon upgrades on those ghouls, and then just able to swarm his opponent back over. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Was Happy just kind of toying with Starbuck throughout this matchup?